Hey friends, how you doing out there? I will be your art teacher today. Mr. Montgomery, it is wonderful to see you. It is snowy outside. It is about to be snowy in here. Today we are going to make some snowflakes. This video is going to be for those students, grades 2 through 5. This one can be a little more challenging. There's going to be some more folding, thicker paper to cut. So if you are one of those students that is feeling ambitious and you want to try one of these out, go for it. If it becomes a little too difficult, there is going to be another video with a snowflake that's a little more simplified, a little less folding, less paper to cut through. So all we are going to need for today is a piece of paper, a pencil, and some scissors. So go ahead and get your materials together and I'll see you over at the bench. Alrighty folks, so here we go. I have my materials. I've got my blank piece of paper, my scissors, and I've got my pencil here. Okay, now the first fold we're gonna make is definitely the most difficult. So I'm gonna have my paper, I'm gonna start with it portrait style. And what we need to do is we're gonna take this top corner, okay, we're gonna take this top corner and we're gonna fold it right over to about here, a couple inches up from the bottom. And what we want to do is we're going to try and make a nice even edge here. We want these two edges to line right up, and we want this top to go into a nice point. Okay, and once we get it lined up, looks good, we're just going to go ahead and crease. Okay, that's going to be probably the most challenging fold. Once again, we're going to find a couple inches up from the bottom. I'm going to keep my finger here. And I'm just going to bring this top corner right over to my finger. Okay, and then we're going to line it up and fold it, okay? Because we need to start with a square. And the best way to make a square with a normal sheet of computer paper is to fold it over. Okay, we get two triangles. And what we want to do is we're just going to cut off this extra tag. So I'm going to take my scissors. Remember, when we use scissors, we're going to cut away from us. We're going to cut off that tag end, and I'm actually going to save this for later because I'm going to make a tiny snowflake out of this. Okay, so now that we have our triangle, what we're going to do is we're going to take this piece and we're going to fold our mountain in half. I like to think of it as a mountain peak right here. Fold it right in half, put our bottom corner to bottom corner, and we don't need to crease it all the way up, okay? We just want to remember this line right here. So I'm going to make a little mark right in the middle. Okay, now what we need to do is we're going to take the top of our mountain. We only need to take one of these flaps. We're going to fold it right down to where that line meets the bottom edge. I'm going to do a little mark here. We don't need to crease it all the way across. I'm going to do a little mark right here. Okay, now the next step is to take the bottom and we're going to fold the bottom up to that line that we made. Okay, and then we unfold it and mark it right here. Okay, at any time during this video you can hit pause, you can rewind, you can even slow the video down with the little gear settings on YouTube. Okay, so you can learn at your own pace with this. Now that we have our third, we should have 1, 2, 3 marks. We're going to take our top and we're going to fold this top of the mountain down to this line again. This one we're going to fold all the way across. Okay, the reason we do this is because we want to mark these two spots right on the edge. Okay, we need these points for our next fold. Okay, so I'm going to keep my finger here and here. So we're going to take this corner and I'm going to fold this bottom edge right up to that point, right along where we made our mark on the bottom. Fold it up. See how we can see both marks? That's what we want. And this should overlap a little bit. And we're going to fold it over just like that. Okay, and that should set us up. Our next fold should line up right along that. So I'm going to do the same thing. Right to this fold to the middle. It's going to come across. and line up right onto our mark that we just made. Okay. You should have this nice piece just like this. Okay. It almost reminds me of like an ice cream cone. So the next step, we're going to go ahead and flip it over. And now we want to take this corner or take this edge and we're just going to fold it. Imagine a line right along this vertically. We're going to take this piece and you're going to fold it right over on top of itself. Okay, make our crease. So we should have this. This is what our paper should look like. Okay. Now if you flip it over, you'll see one has a line right across the top. You know, you have a piece of paper. What I'm just going to do is go ahead and cut across. Okay, take our scissors, cut across. Okay, now we should have this triangular sort of cone shape. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add some guidelines for where I want to cut. So I'm going to start right here on the top right corner. And you can really come up with any design you want. But for this first one, I'm going to come in, kind of curve around. And I'm actually going to cut off. This is going to go to the other side. So we're going to cut this section off. And you can experiment with some different designs. Okay, there's really no one way to do this. That's the nice thing about snowflakes is that they're all different. So I started here and I'm going to cut off. Now maybe I'm going to add something right here. Okay. We can cut off a little piece right here. And then let's say cut off this whole bottom. Okay. So this, I'm going to darken the areas that I'm going to cut off. So this is going to get cut out. This is going to get cut out. This is going to get cut out. And then that's going to get cut out. Okay, so we kind of have our guide. So now we're just going to cut. Okay, move slow. Like I said, this one's a little bit harder because it's more paper to cut through. And you'll see after exactly what the product is going to look like. Okay, I'm just moving slow. I'm actually rotating the paper around my scissors. Okay, just be careful. Keep your fingers away from the scissors. Just work your way around it. Let's just go ahead and cut this tip off. Might find some of these really... Oh no. Some of these really sharp, rounded turns with the scissors can be a little bit tricky. That's all right. Trial and error. Oh. All right. So now that we get to here, I'm all ready to go, ready to open up my snowflake and see how it turned out. Look at that. It's a pretty good one. Now from here, you can color it. Okay, you could just leave it white. Something that's really cool with these is taking a piece of tape and sticking them to the window. You can decorate with them. You can put them wherever you would like. Give them to a family member. Teach a family member how to make them. And then with our extra piece, this little tag, we can make a mini snowflake. So you just do the exact same process that I just did. So we're going to take this, fold our corner over to make another mini square. And this can be a little bit tricky because it's so much smaller. And then we're going to start out and you just have the the same triangle that we were just working, and you can make a little mini snowflake. Is that cool? All right, friends. Well, I hope you enjoyed that. Remember to hit that subscribe button on the YouTube channel for updates when new projects are posted. Hope you enjoyed, and we'll see you next time.